Good morning. I found myself in a most peculiar place. I was actually on my way this morning to go and find the Kali temple in Delhi, and I came across the Christian Indian graveyard. So it's extremely peaceful. It's already 30 degrees and climbing. And I've been drawn to this beautiful tree. And I feel the presence, not just because of the crows, and yes, we associate crows with the afterlife and death, but the feeling and the resonance of so many souls. Why has death taken so much away from us when it's a transition? And why have we conditioned ourselves to live our lives with an approach that death needs to be prepared for by all the things that we claim to have? Which are inconsequential when the time comes to say goodbye. And why is saying goodbye so hard? Why do we grieve this loss that seems to tear at us when we cannot hold on to our loved ones anymore, when we have to experience their pain and suffering as we witness lives being lost too early? I've seen a lot of graves here that belong to young people. And we can't simply say it's a part of life anymore, because it's something a lot more important than that. Sometimes I feel like I've lived out enough past lives here on this earth already. Maybe that is why I am where I am, with my own conscious state, ready to surrender to whatever God has in store for me, and knowing that all those past versions of myself cannot be brought with me this time. There will be a grieving process for the young girl, the young woman, the mother, the wife, all those things that I thought life was supposed to be about. I want to call on God's Source Spirit. Tuesday, the 9th of June, and I have one more sleep before I get on a plane back to Johannesburg, back home. And I want to ask permission to be here as well. Amongst the bones, the rotting flesh, the dirt. And I want to pray for all of you. That we can find freedom in this life before the mortal body releases the soul back into that whirlpool of bliss, that super divine consciousness that we all come from. Let's do today's reading. The unintelligent think of me, the unmanifest, as having manifestation, knowing not my higher, immutable, and most excellent nature. I am not manifest to all as I am, veiled by the yoga maya. This deluded world does not know me, the unborn and imperishable. Endowed with that faith, he engages in the worship of that form, and from it he obtains his desires, these being verily ordained by me alone. Verily the reward that accrues to those men of small intelligence is finite. The worshippers of the gods go to them, but my devotees come to me. The superficial meaning is clear as daylight. No one is compelled to accept or reject any particular method of worship of any form of the Supreme Being, as long as that worship is with the faith that I am worshipping God. The Hindu is not an idol worshipper. He worships God, the divine presence in the idol, which is the medium through which he can contact God. He worships God in and through his guru and the saints, in and through God's manifestations in the mineral, plant, animal, human, and celestial kingdoms. But there is the ever-present faith that he is worshipping not the form, but the spirit in all these. This faith is initially based on intellectual or metaphysical grounds, and the testimony of sages and saints. In due course, it becomes a conviction born of direct realization. The great declaration of the Veda. The reality is one. Sages, designated variously, indicates that whatever religion people profess, they are worshipping the Supreme Being in their own way with faith. God, being omnipresent, responds to the devotee's prayers, meditation or worship in his own way. Having this attitude, the devotee regards whatever he receives in his life as the gift of God, and he is forever happy and unperturbed. He who recognizes the all-pervasiveness of God and still worships the Supreme Being alone through his different aspects will go to the Supreme. But he who, unable to comprehend this truth, worships the forms with themselves as God, even he is not lost. He will become one with the aspect of God, and in course of time realize God's infinity with a heartwarming doctrine. No one is condemned forever. Whatever be one's concept of faith, God redeems him. For while the form remains as such, God is made manifest in the heart. That's beautiful. And it's beautiful to be reading this reading where I am this morning. What I realized when I referred back to the book now is that I've read today's reading yesterday, and it's forced me to go back to yesterday's reading, which encompasses these aspects of doctrine, faith, and allowing each one of us to have a personal relationship with God in accordance to one's own belief system. So we can't be biased. We can't be so wrong in judging others and looking at Hinduism and yoga as something that is wrong or against Christianity or Catholicism or what is the right and the wrong way. It's the intention, or it's the vision, or it's the relationship between one man and his creator. And that relationship can change even a second before death. I was supposed to get these readings wrong. And I was supposed to not find myself at the Kali temple this morning like I was going to, because I was on my way there. I was supposed to be right here, right now. with you in this space, reading this message. No one is condemned forever. Whatever be one's concept of faith, God redeems him. For while the form remains as such, God is made manifest in their heart. And my heart has always been for God. Yes, I've had fingers pointed at me because I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian, and I chose to integrate parts of yoga and parts of Buddhism and parts of Eastern philosophy into practical applications for the way that I'm living. And a big part of that was learning the science of meditation, alchemy and attunement, so that I could rewire the neuroplasticity in my brain, which is something that we all need to learn how to do. Screen time, no matter what device, and the stress that we're all going through trying to keep up with this crazy life, being drawn into the stage of this world and all the political hype, propaganda. It's creating a big divide between the mind and the heart, and ultimately what we do, because we're isolating ourselves from real world interaction. Even in real world interaction, what we choose to do with others needs to be discerned. Because I do believe music and entertainment is taking a very big role, and it's distracting a lot of people. And I myself cannot allow for my mind to keep regurgitating the electronic sounds that are supposed to put us into a trance, a conscious dance. Even then, we're creating spaces and portals for entities and other low vibrational or demonic influences. So I want these sessions, these readings, just to kind of prick at the brain a little bit. Allow the mind to wander and wander. Use your imagination. Understand the layers of the mind, the koshas, conscious, subconscious, energy, intellect. And visualize as you're closing your eyes, drifting back into the layers of the mind. Visualize this feather. Until you get into the state of the observer. And then even further, observing the observer. When we start doing this often enough, when we start redesigning our thought processes, when we start stepping out of our comfort zones, when we start doing positive action, karma yoga, we have this ability to transform, to readapt ourselves. And the human body and the human spirit, wow, is a super adaptable being. I myself will have to readapt to a new me when I step onto South African soil with a new set of rules and guidelines for myself, so that I can continue to walk this path, to live a divine life, to be conscious, aware and awakened. To look up, to smell, to use my senses for how they were really supposed to be used. Because these 7 gates of the face, the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, we can touch them. It's a prayer for protection. May my eyes see the beauty. May my ears hear the soft whisper. Let it all be gentle, the smell of sweet perfumes. Let my mouth be used to speak these words of wisdom and insight and inspiration. And continue to use my voice for the powerful tool that it was destined for. And give me the strength, the courage and the bravery to keep going, to keep pushing forward every day, to be a better version of myself. No pressure at all. Put ourselves through enough trying to meet everybody else's expectations. And your ego is in there as well, telling you how things should and shouldn't be done. Yeah, it's just a reminder of where we all end up. In the ground. Feeding nature again, feeding the trees. And the trees giving a home to the birds and the chipmunks. We give food back to our environment when we die. This has been a very interesting reading today. It's been wonderful to have you here in this beautiful space with me. I feel quite honored for the shade. By 11:30 this morning, my weather app is telling me it's going to be 40 degrees, so I'm probably going to be in the hotel for the rest of the day. And it really doesn't matter if the readings are switched. And if there is something that resonates with you that you think will resonate with somebody else, you can share any reading from any day. And help me to grow a conscious community. A community that can effect real change just by its frequency and its vibration. A community of authentic people, not by what we do, but our being, our kindness, our caring and sharing with one another. And if you would like to connect with me on a personal level or a one-on-one for a session for any counseling or coaching, I will be available from next week, whether it be online or in person. You can book some time with me and I can help guide you through these processes that we are all being asked to challenge ourselves to adopt. There's a kingfisher. It's a beautiful blue-winged kingfisher. Okay. Spirit has sent its gifts. We've shared some words of wisdom. And so I'm sending you peace, love, and light. Thank you. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.